What's happening around the world and what's happening here at home? A very good evening to you and welcome to Weekend Primetime News. I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Before we get into our stories in detail, let's take a quick look at your headlines.
Shots fired at Jaffna High Court Judge M. Elanchalian, security officer hospitalized. President on garbage. Shocking revelation on cocaine imported along with sugar. Uma Oya continues to make life difficult for residents. Dengue patients in the country exceed 100,000.
A gunman had opened fire aiming at Jaffna High Court Judge M. Elanchalian in Nallur, Jaffna. Jaffna High Court Judge M. Elanchalian is a member of the trial at bar that is hearing the case on the rape and murder of Vidya Sivaloganathan.
The shooting had taken place at the Nallur Kovil junction at 5:10 this evening. The unknown gunman had grabbed the sidearm of one of the two police officers providing security to the judge and opened fire. Police said the gunman had immediately fled the scene. Justice M. Elanchalian was not harmed in the incident. However, an officer attached to his security detail was injured and was rushed to the Jaffna Teaching Hospital.
President Maithripala says a permanent program will be introduced to address the garbage issue so that no other future government will have to face it again.
Successive governments in this country never solved the garbage issue. The Maithripala garbage dump started back in 1988. All local government institutions collected garbage and created garbage dumps. When other countries took action using the available technology, we did not do so. As a result of that, the Maithripala disaster claimed many lives. We have been vested with the responsibility of solving the 60-year-old garbage dumps. We have called for tenders and we hope to utilize the latest technology to implement a program to address the garbage issue so that no other future government will have to deal with it. Across the country there are protests but no solutions. Anyone can protest, but a solution is what is important.
President Maithripala Sirisena declared open the Sri Selaratna Memorial Meditation Centre in Kirinduvela. The meditation centre and a Buddha statue were visited with the Mahasangha to mark the 77th birth anniversary of the late former minister Sarachandra Rajakaruna.
If he was alive on the day of his 77th birthday, he would have involved the president in this great deed. The chief prelate of the Aranya Senasaniya has a desire to host the president at this sacred ground. Though he is not alive today, I am happy that we were able to invite the president here for this meritorious deed.
The official title handover of 133 purchased land of MP Harshana Rajakaruna to the Sri Lanka Sustainable Energy Authority took place at this event. The President handed over the title deed to Deputy Minister Ajit P. Pereira.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe celebrates 40 years of his parliamentary life today.
Ranil Wickremesinghe was elected to Parliament in 1977 from the Birgam electorate and was appointed as the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs in the same year. Following a constitutional amendment and the establishment of the executive presidency, he was appointed to the cabinet as a Minister of Youth Affairs and Employment. From 1977 to 1994, during the 17 years that the UNP was consecutively returned to power, Ranil Wickremesinghe held the portfolios of Minister of Education and Youth Affairs and Minister of Industries. In 1993, Ranil Wickremesinghe was appointed Prime Minister for a brief period. After the UNP was voted out in 1994, he acted as the opposition leader in Parliament until 2001. He served as the Prime Minister thrice, starting from 7th May 1993 to 19th of August 1994, 9th of January 2015 to 17th of August 2015, and from August 2015 parliamentary elections to the present day. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe serves as a leader of the United National Party since 1994. Cordial meeting was organised at Temple Trees to celebrate the 40 years of parliamentary life of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The event was organised to appreciate and acknowledge the support given by the political party activists of the Birgham electorate during his political career.
During the first 2 years, we had to rebuild all that was destroyed. We had a debt-ridden economy. We had no revenue to pay the debt. We are paying the debt and moving forward, and will solve the debt issue by 2025. We inherited the garbage mountain. We have solved that as well. The agreement for the Hambantota port will be signed by August. By the end of the year, the Maithripala airport will be restarted in a new way. We will commence the Central Expressway from Kadawatha. When we complete the construction before 2020, the landowners from Kadawatha will be able to take care of their future generations as well. We can only reach the peak of development if we solve the issues surrounding Uma Oya. We must not forget that. This is similar to the 1977 revolution. We established a national government under the leadership of President Maithripala. Today, we have all come together under a common view to take this country forward.
A gunman had opened fire aiming at Jaffna High Court Judge M. Ilanshalian in Nallur, Jaffna. Justice M. Ilanshalian spoke exclusively to Newsfirst on the incident that took place.
My police escort officer came with a motorbike and stopped the traffic vehicles and allowed my vehicle to proceed. At the time, I have seen one civilian move towards to my police escort who has come by the motorbike, remove the weapon from his waist, and both my police officer and the civilian fought for 2 to 3 minutes to remove the weapon. At the time, immediately I was just before the bike, just 8 feet before the bike, in front of the bike. I got down from the car and ran towards particular place. At the time, immediately the particular person loaded the gun and fired towards to the police sergeant, my escort. Then he turned down to the firing to my side. At the time, another police escort in front of me, and he pulled me into the car, and he fired to the particular civilian. And later, my police constable escort fired 5 times, and he also injured. My police sergeant injured, and he got the that now is in the surgical room. My police constable also injured. In my view, this is the target to the judiciary. My police sergeant or the police constable is not a target because no one know about my escort officers. I am handling the most dangerous cases in Jaffna. I have 100% doubt this particular firing towards to me and the threat to the judiciary. I request His Excellency the President, Defence Minister, and the Justice Minister, and His Lordship the Chief Justice and the Secretary Judicial Service Commission to take over this matter very serious, to safeguard the judiciary and protect the judges, to hear the free and fair trial and the independence of judiciary. I am unhurt, no injuries. Unfortunately, my police sergeant is in serious condition. He is in the surgical room. Surgery is ongoing in progress in the Jaffna hospital. And the police constable also is injured. He is also admitted in the Jaffna hospital. Then immediately I did not see anything. I got down again from my car and took the police sergeant inside my car and brought to hospital within 5 minutes time. On the way, I informed the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Jaffna, HQI Jaffna, to go through the Nallur temple area and check the CCTV cameras and do the search and cordon search operations in that area to arrest the suspect. This is a real threat to the judges and the judiciary. Last 8 months, I am handling the most dangerous cases. At present, I am handling the another most dangerous cases. Therefore, this matter should be seriously considered by the government of Sri Lanka and protect the independence of judiciary.
Prime Minister Wickremesinghe released an official message to celebrate 40 years of parliamentary life.
Now, slowly we are getting ahead of the issues. We are now dealing with the hidden issues we inherited, such as the debt, the national disunity, the international restrictions due to the human rights commitments made by the Rajapaksa government. Much better if they enforced the law without going in for various promises which they are not going to fulfill. I have been in parliament for 40 years, I have been in the party, become the leader, lost and come back again. That is one of character where people certainly has to know how to get on to the top of the greasy pole, how to hang on, the patience involved, the sufferings. All of us from many parties had to go through a very trying time with wars, with internal clashes. Virtually we are part of a new revolution that's taken place in the world after 77.
A group of university students opposing Saitam continue to remain at the Lipton Circus in Colombo since this evening. These students commenced a march from near the Aesthetic University in Colombo this afternoon. Now, police produced a court order to prevent the students from proceeding towards the Ministry of Higher Education when they attempted to do so. The students remained at the roundabout near the Colombo National Hospital expressing their protest. The freight container with cocaine discovered at the Southern stores in Ratmalana has been imported by the same person who imported a freight container which contained cocaine last year. Now, customs revealed that the importer in question is connected to a number of similar incidents.
218 kilograms and 600 grams of cocaine was discovered from inside a freight container with sugar that was imported to the country from Brazil. The street value of the contraband is about 3.2 billion rupees.
We received information since last December about a controversial importer. After these incidents, the clearance of sugar was subject to through inspection and the operations were suspended for some time. Legal action will be taken against the company in question. I cannot reveal more information because this single importer is connected to a number of incidents. He had stayed away from clearing goods for a certain period of time. The information we have is that he is connected to the random incidents that were reported. 10 freight containers were in the list for inspection. Importers also clear their goods one part at a time.
On the 24th of November last year, 220 kilograms of cocaine was discovered inside a freight container with sugar at the Sri Lanka Customs Rank Container Terminal in Orgodawatta. Investigations led to the discovery that these sugar containers reached the country from Brazil via Portugal. Following the incident, Customs had enforced strict procedure in relation to sugar containers, a directive from Sri Lanka Customs. 54 freight containers were held at the Customs terminal and are to be subject to a complete search before they are released. However, information has come to light that the freight container in which cocaine was discovered at the Sathasa storage facility in Ratmalana was released without following the instructions to conduct a complete search.
We took over the sugar consignment on the 18th. 5 local suppliers had placed bids for the tenders that we called for on Tuesday. Among them, Ranjitha Splitting and Processing Industry had bid for the lowest price. Therefore, we awarded them the tender for 500 metric tons of sugar.
We contacted Ranjitha Pulsar Splitting and Processing Industry in this regard. They informed us that the container was purchased a week ago from a company named WDR Samarakon, which has its head office in Kandy. It is reported that WDR Samarakon had purchased the sugar consignment from another intermediary importer. A suspect was produced in court along with the cocaine that was discovered in November last year. The attorneys appearing for the suspects pointed out that these intermediary parties must be investigated.
The sugar is imported from Brazil. The Sri Lankan agent for this company is called Ramco. In relation to the first incident, an individual was arrested via the company called Ramco. This person places his orders through Ramco. When the orders for sugar was made, the vessel had left Brazil and already passed Portugal. What is significant that the personnel from the Narcotic Bureau have recorded a statement from the head of Sudran and released him on the very same day. He is only the person who had a direct link to this incident. Ramco too was let go after recording a statement. The Narcotic Bureau, after keeping stocks for 8 months, said it themselves that they did not have sufficient evidence.
In such a backdrop, how is it that a sugar container was released without a complete inspection?
How is that contraband is discovered from a Satosa storage? At a time when the President had ordered that all containers must be inspected thoroughly before entering the country, who gave approval for the container to reach Ratmalana? So, it is the driver who needs to be responsible. Is there no political influence? The drugs were discovered from a Satosa storage. The storage is under Minister Rishad Bathiuddin. He has a responsibility to ensure that the investigation is a just one. He must temporarily step down from his position. The name of Rishad is mentioned in relation to the drugs. Do we know who imported it? Why should he have the Ministry of Industry and Commerce? He should take the Ministry of Lands so that he can render a service to the nation. He remains in the same ministry for 10 long years. The Disaster Management Logistics Operations Centre has enforced a program to prevent illegal garbage disposal in Colombo and its suburbs. CCTV footage installed in areas where garbage is disposed in an illegal manner were released to the media today. These are footage recorded in CCTV cameras installed in Maithripala and Kotahena. A special operation is underway to locate those who dispose garbage in an improper manner. Newsfirst visited several areas this morning which have been identified as illegal garbage dumping sites. A land under the Ministry of Megapolis has been given for waste disposal. This is located in the Muthurajawala Vattala area, which comes under the Lowlands Development Corporation. People dispose their waste to the canals and waterways in many areas. We request the people to segregate the waste. The Municipal Commission had responded to a statement made by the Chief Minister of Western Province yesterday. The Municipal Commission has said it is time. He has given a letter. I don't think the employees and the Secretary would be pleased to see him leave. The Commission has had enough. Is there any point in blaming me or the Commissioner? Where should the garbage be disposed at? He is a close associate. I'm closely attached to the Western Provincial Council. At the event yesterday, he praised the hard work that we have done. The Minister of Megapolis and Western Development has promised to provide an immediate solution to the garbage issue.
In the past, I intervened to implement a program to address the Blue Mandal garbage dump in Colombo. However, the area MP, Dinesh Gunawardena, banned that. Today, he is presenting proposals to Parliament on the garbage in Colombo. After the Maithripala disaster, garbage started to pile up in Colombo. Many people made statements. There was an increase in dengue patients to 100,000 and 250 plus deaths as a result of dengue have been reported as to now. The issue in the country aggravated. The President handed over the matter to us and we solved it in 3 days. The garbage from Colombo is not being disposed into swamps like it was done before. We do not lie across streets and we are not afraid of the people who do so. This month we will launch 3 projects to generate electricity from garbage. In addition to that, we will establish a garbage collection yard and solve the issue by 2020.
Stay tuned to News First, and I'll be back after this short commercial break. Welcome back. The number of dengue patients recorded so far has topped 100,000, with majority being reported from the Colombo district.
During the first 7 months of the year, 101,698 dengue patients were reported from across the island. The highest number of 21,732 is reported from the Colombo district. 3,688 dengue patients were reported within the Colombo municipal area, while 17,228 patients were reported from the Gampaha district. The number of dengue patients reported from the Ratnapura district stands at 6,073, while the epidemiology unit says that a considerable number of dengue patients are reported from Kalutara, Kandy, Kegol, Putlam, Kurunagala and Trincomalee districts. Meanwhile, around 60 dengue risk zones in the island have been identified. The National Dengue Control Unit says that those aged between 15 to 48 are more vulnerable to fall victim to dengue, while home remedies and use of strong painkillers may cause complications. The director of the National Hospital commented on the present situation.
Of the total number of patients, 80 are suffering from dengue hemorrhagic fever or patients with critical condition. Some people contracted with dengue have recovered. There are others in a critical stage. We pay special attention to such cases. Many patients have been hospitalized due to the complications that have arisen after consuming papaya juice and related pills.
The Minister of Education has taken measures to launch a 3-day dengue prevention campaign with the aim of controlling the spread of the disease. The program will take place on the 28th, 29th and 30th of this month. Accordingly, all educational activities of schools will be suspended on Friday and cleaning activities will be carried out together with students, parents and teachers. A dengue prevention program got underway in the Colombo area with the support of the Newsfirst government team. A group including Civil Defence Force personnel, public health inspectors and police officers joined hands with the government team in the clean-up activity.
Locals claim that despite the leak in the tunnel of the Umayyah project being sealed, the issue they face have not been resolved.
The Palangala tank may appear as a little waterway, but it has met the water requirements of the 2,500 plus families living in the area for many decades and also supplied the water for the 750 plus acres of paddy land in the area. We've been here for 2 decades and the tank never dried up like this. All our wells have dried up too. There was always water in the tank, but not anymore. They say it is because of the Umayyah. There's not enough water to drink. There are line houses below. We use water that is being distributed from Bowsers. It will be difficult to live without water. We're unable to cultivate our land. Minister Harin Fernando, who represents the Badulla district, recently expressed views about the Umayyah project.
I did not lay the foundation stone or request for the project to go ahead. I am not aware of this, but the people blame me. I cannot go to Umayyah and demonstrate with the people. I am a government minister, and if I do so, I will become a joke. It would be better for me to walk in nude rather than screaming on the road. I cannot become a fool. I am not an engineer, so I don't know about that. I can only put a stop to that and give relief to the people. I can only do that by sitting inside the cabinet.
The live recording of the 33rd Gammadda Janasabha Mandapaya took place in Maithripala construction of the proposed Yan Oya Dam. The locals in the area were able to pose questions relating to the issues surrounding the Yan Oya project to Minister of Irrigation and Water Resources Management Wickremesinghe, several other government officials as well. The 33rd Gammadda Janasabha Mandapaya gave them the opportunity to question and discuss their concerns over the proposed project. Attacks on journalists were one of the key points raised by many in the political stage. Yet, has justice been served for those incidents that have been spoken of?
Noya, an editor and defense columnist at the Nation newspaper, abducted and inhumanely assaulted. Sirsa studio complex in Depanama bombed. Senior journalist Lasantha Wickremesinghe assassinated in Attilia on the 8th of January 2009. Even before 2 weeks passed since the assassination of Lasantha Wickremesinghe, chief editor of the Rivera newspaper Upali Tennakon was assaulted by a group that came in 2 motorbikes. The Udaya newspaper office in Jaffna attacked with a hand grenade. Journalist Podala Janta abducted by a group in Nugegoda. Head office of the MTV MBC network attacked. Several employees injured. 4 months after the attack on the MTV MBC network head office, the Voice of Asia network, which maintained the Sieta television and radio channel, was attacked. The Udaya newspaper office attacked for the 33rd time. Though many incidents of abducting, assaulting and assassinating journalists and attacking media institutions were reported, only a few incidents are being investigated. Journalists who were victims of these incidents say the investigations are not at a satisfactory level.
The investigations have stalled at a certain point. I must mention that the crime at present is far worse than the killings of Lasantha Wickremesinghe and Sivaram. This is worse than the abduction and disappearance of Pragit Eknaligoda. This is the case of Sampath Lakmal. In addition to that, around 40 journalists and people attached to media institutions in the north and east have been killed. The crime taking place now is that the criminals are being protected. We too have suspicions on that. It's been 2 years since the government was elected, and yet we have not received a solution from the government that we can be satisfied with, especially with the serious violations of human rights. The investigations on the serious cases have not reached a conclusion. We assume there is a political interference in this. The people who face allegations are those who are attached to military units that served political purposes. What we see is that the government has no desire to stop the political intervention in the investigations against those military units.
Is there an attempt to conceal sensitive information and incriminating evidence from the Presidential Commission of Inquiry? A weekend newspaper has published an article highlighting doubts of a plot to destroy evidence of the Treasury bond scandal.
The island reports that a very senior official at the Central Bank of Sri Lanka was found removing a haul of files and documents from the bank several days ago. According to Central Bank protocols, details of documents taken out of the bank have to be recorded at the security division of the bank. According to the report, the official in question arrived at the bank at around 7:30 p.m. and took the documents in his personal car without following the due procedure. The security division officials informed Central Bank Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy of the misdeed by the official. The official had claimed that he was removing some files belonging to him. However, according to the procedure, anyone who took files from the central bank should first obtain a gate pass for them, but the official concerned had not done so, raising serious questions on what did those documents actually contain. Some officers of the bank had raised their concerns over the incident that had taken place while an investigation was in progress into the bond scam. The fact that the official in question had been linked to the Treasury bond scandal and he was due to retire from the bank in the near future had further raised grave suspicion that he might have been eliminating vital evidence. This is not the first time information from the Central Bank of Sri Lanka had made its way out of the public domain. On the 15th of May, a leaked draft report from the Central Bank of Sri Lanka deemed to contain market-sensitive information was presented before the Presidential Commission of Inquiry. The report was presented by the attorney representing former Governor Arjuna Mahendran. Deputy Governor Dr. Nandalal Veerasinghe informed the Commission that Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy has expressed concern over the leak and said the Central Bank will probe how the report was leaked. In October last year, a highly confidential document by the Department for the Supervision for Non-Bank Financial Institutions was leaked. The report highlighted serious concerns against the manner in which the controversial Perpetual Treasuries Limited had conducted itself during the tenure of Arjuna Mahendran as the central bank governor.
The 34th Udagammana under the Samata 7 model village was declared open by the Minister of Housing and Construction, Sajith Premadasa, in Padavgama area in Lonugambehera today. The village named Siyajayagama consists of 25 houses. Kitchen equipment, self-employment loans and housing deeds were presented to the area residents today. It is a group of unappreciative men who engage in politics at present. They are finding fault in the Udagamane projects, but they were the ones who made plans to companies. They also plan to give this very land you are using to hold meetings to a wealthy international company. Now they are playing a game of fortune tellers.